Hey, welcome everyone in this new video in which I'm going to be doing a live build to explain how we solve the big problem that one of our clients had. So it's a service-based business. Basically, this problem is something that a lot of businesses have in general, and today you're going to be able to see how we think about this problem, how we decided to go about it, and how we fix it, and you're going to be able to use the solution for your own business. Okay, I'm going to be presenting two different scenarios because there are quite a different scenarios for this, but then with those two scenarios you're going to be able to understand how to do it completely for your business and fix this big problem. Okay, so the problem itself is we have a client with many different acquisition channels. Okay, cold email, SMS, WhatsApp, Instagram, name it. There's plenty of acquisition channels. But in terms of emails, he had 4 master inbox for a lot of different mailbox. Okay, so everything came into 4 different mailbox. That client is a service-based business, so he's super busy. And to save him a lot of times and a lot of the connection of platforms, we needed to centralize everything. Okay, so what we use for this is the GoHighLevel CRM as a unified inbox. And also we use NAN with some AI to connect everything together. Okay, so the problem is we have too many things going on everywhere. The solution is we take those emails, we create a new lead inside GoHighLevel, we create the opportunity, we create the notes associated with them, and also we create a task associated with it. Okay, and from there all the further communications are going to happen inside the GoHighLevel CRM. So everything in one place. This solution is saving him a lot of hours per week and per month. Okay, and he went from basically a founder that was going to get burned out eventually to someone who's able to get his life back. Okay, so I mentioned this is a problem that many businesses have. As soon as you start scaling your Gen C, you're going to have a lot of acquisition channel where all the leads come in, and you want to make sure there's no leads going through the net. So this is the solution to your problem. Okay, so let's start right into it. So right now I'm inside NAN. What we're going to do is present the email scenario. Okay, so with Gmail, but this could also be Outlook. And I'm going to show you 2 different scenarios. One in which the service provider that you're working with is basically giving you the details. It's super well presented. And the other variations is where you basically have no information, and you have to think a little bit further with this. Okay. So let me show you. The first thing is we receive an email, then I get the message. This is not an issue for most people. So if we go in here and we're going to see the message itself, it's coded in JSON, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to read, but basically it's an email that says, yeah, I'd like a quote for my house. Here are my details: name, email, phone, address, etc. So the classic thing that you'd have into a service-based business. Okay, we're gonna go from here to a full lead opportunity node and task created inside GHL with this. Okay, so this is the easiest version, and then after that we're gonna go with something else. From here, what I would want to do is extract this information. Okay, so inside NAN there's a super cool node that's called Information Extractor, which basically we use AI to do this. The first thing we're going to do is select the language model. I like using ChatGPT for this, and mainly the 4.1 nano, because this costs less money, and also this is quick and efficient. Okay, so I like using this. You should also be using this, but you can use pretty much all we want. Okay, so I'm gonna add a sticky note so you remember which one we're using here. Basically, this is Nano 4.1. Okay, but you can change this as you want. Then inside the information extractor here, what we're gonna do is get the common fields that we usually get by email. Okay, so those are fairly simple. We start with, I'm gonna do the prompt after. Okay. We start with, let's say, full name, because we want a full name. I'm going to go over the description after. Then probably, let me go see what he gives here. Well, what I give myself, essentially. Okay, so it should be right around here if I find it. Okay, So we have full name, then we have email, then we have phone number, most likely. Then we have, it's going to be a company name, maybe. I say maybe because this is going to play a part, you're going to see it. Then we have, we're going to have an address, but we need to divide into different sections for GHL. So I'm going to show you actually how GoHighLevel takes in the information. This is super important. So GHL API documentation, this is how I would build as well. The first thing that we're going to get is basically we need to create a contact. So I'm just going to write here, wait, abstract contact is probably going to be it. Yes. So it's you're going to be create an abstract contact. And here we can see we take in different information here, okay? So name, we have this, email, okay, that's fine. Phone, we have this, address one. So this is the street address, the city, state, postal code, and probably going to be country as well. Country is somewhere here below. Perfect. So we need to add all of those. I'm going to say street address, city, then state, then country. Did I forget something? State, postal code. Of course. Perfect. We have pretty much all the basic information from there. What I'm going to do now is make the full description. So I'm going to say this is the full name. I'm going to be super simple here because if this is structured, usually what I would do is say, okay, this comes after the name, etc. Okay, which is why it's super important to understand what kind of patterns of emails you're getting in from different providers. So this is the full name of the prospect. This is required. And I'm going to be as descriptive like this as well. This is the email address of the prospect. I also want this 100%. This is the phone number of the prospect. Company name. This is the company name of the prospect. But this is not going to be required because sometimes it's B2C and sometimes it's B2B. This is the street address required. This is the city of the address of the prospect's address required. This is the state of the address, and we're going to be doing some testing just to make sure everything is good. Country, I'm in this case going to say, well, maybe it's written, maybe it's not written. We're going to see what it gives. This is the country of the address. What I'm going to do is not put required because based on the other things, it's also going to find it inside GHL, GoHighLevel. This is the postal code of the address, and this is required. So let's test here. Oh, I need to input the actual data here. I don't know why I'm not seeing it. Let's see. It's not receive. It's an HTML. So we should be able to find it. I don't care about those signature. HTML, this is here. And we have the text here. Probably going to go with text, less HTML tags to deal with. Let's test. Okay, full name. This is ND, what was in the message, email, phone number, company name, street address, city, state, country, US, postal code. Okay, so everything here is correct. If we looked on the left, we would have all this information here. If you have some problems, then you need to be more specific. So for our clients, for example, some of the providers were always outputting in certain formats. So this makes it easier for the AI to understand. Okay, full name is going to always be after name. Email is always going to be after email. And so you can give this information in the description and it's going to work easily. Okay, so here we have the information extraction. What we're going to be building now is essentially we need to create a contact inside GHL. Okay, so two things here. First thing, if it's the first time that you work with GHL, if you work like me with GHL, you will need to create an access token. Okay, I'm not going to be showing into this video how to get yourself a token because this is a video itself, but just know that for GHL purposes, you're going to have to authentify and that you get yourself some access tokens to go with this. Okay, in my case, I've built this system inside Airtable, and just know, by the way, it's not going to be as difficult for other CRMs. GHL API is something though. Okay, so in my case here, I know exactly where I need to go for this. So I've stored this information inside some table here, which I'm going to show. We're going to go pick up the ID for our test account, which is this one. And then we'll do test. So don't worry, even if you copy this, this is not going to be valid. And it doesn't matter, this is test information. So we get the output. Basically, this is get credentials. Then what we're going to be able to do is essentially an HTTP request. And we're going to be using here this link, okay? So I'm going to copy paste this link. This is going to be post, of course. The URL here, authentication, we don't need this because we send it inside the header. So I'm just going to copy the format. Header. Is this a bearer? Yes, this is a bearer token. So this, and then this is location access token right here. Oop, I just need to put this into expression first. Then we have version, that's mandatory. And we'll just copy what basically it's telling us to copy. Boom. Okay, so we have also a body. I'm going to say use JSON here, and I like, especially for GHL, to just copy how they format their thing here and remove what I don't need. Okay, so I know I'm going to be using this, although this here, custom fields I don't need, tags I don't need, let's see, this I don't need, I don't need this, state address is there, phone, gender I don't need, location ID we will need, name, first name I don't have those here. Okay, perfect. So then we're just going to put this into an expression and we're going to start mapping out things. Oh, made a small oopsie here. Forget. After this, I like using a set field and map those variables so there's no problem, because sometimes when you work with AI agents, you get some problems based on the output of AI. So I like just remapping everything and having like a clear set fields. So we're just gonna do, whoops, one by one. Phone number, company name, street address, city, state, country, postal code, state, country, postal code, state, boom. Okay, so everything here should be good to go. Then we get a nice JSON format. Then we're going to play get credential again. Then here, now we can start putting this into an expression. So for the name, this is the full name. We're just going to fill every details out. Basically, this is going to create the contact inside GHL itself. So location ID, I do have this inside your table. So this is where you're creating the, if you're using GHL, this is where you're creating the contact if you have any accounts. State, postal code. Source, I'm gonna say N8N so you get to see where this goes. Gonna hard code it. Company name. We have it right here. And assigned to, this is the user who's writing this, okay? So I'll go into GHL, get my user ID, essentially. Let's see. This is this information. So I'm just gonna put this there, boom. So this is create GHL contact, boom. If everything went well, this should create a contact, perfect. Let's go see in GHL. And I'm here, perfect. Okay, so things that we might want to do here is we absolutely want to create an opportunity with it. If we go into opportunities right now, it's not created because for you guys, if you don't know, most of the CRM works with contacts, organizations, and opportunities. It's two different things. Right now, we want to go and create an opportunity. I also want to put the email as notes, okay? So we have the full information. So to do this, we're gonna go through an extra step. So right now I create the GHL contact. I'm gonna use AI, I think, to format the email, and then I'm gonna use a code function to basically reformat it so we can use it inside an API call. This is often a problem we have with certain outputs, even though they're JSON, it doesn't work into API calls, so we have to wrestle a little bit with this. Then I'm going to create the note, then I'm going to create the opportunity, and I'm going to create a task, and this is going to be it for this simple workflow, and I'll show you a simple variation of it, okay? So if we go back into here, actually, let's do the AI part first. So I'm going to do message, whoops. OpenAI, message a model. No, it's not what I want. Message a model. We're gonna add a system prompt, boom. Okay. Allow me a small pause. I will be giving, by the way, all the prompts that I make inside the Google Docs. So I will just go and get, I made a nice prompt for this that's useful after some testing. So I'm gonna go and get it and be back. Okay, so you guys are gonna have access to this Google document below in the video description. Basically, this is the prompt. This is a system prompt that I like putting there. After some testing, I found out that this works good because if you have a thread with many different emails, you want to have a clear format. Okay, this is from who to who and what's the content. Okay, so I like this. This is super simple. As for the user prompt, what we're going to have here is essentially the email. We need to go back into text. Let's get the text here. Boom. Then, oh, model would be good if I have this. What I'm going to do is 4.1, I think mini is going to be fine here. Okay, there is only one message. Yep, and in this case, there was only one message, and then we get all the data. So this was not a complex email. I would do some testing here to make sure everything works if it's not the case. Then what we need to do is a function node to sanitize this email and basically put it into JSON ready format. So I'm going to call it sanitize email. And this script here, I'm going to give this is basically this. And what this gives is the content of the email to be ready to be sent inside an API request. And then I like setting field just to make sure everything is good. So email thread, and I'll put this right here. Boom. I'm just gonna rename it set field email thread. Boom. Okay, next thing we do is we do add a note. So let's see, notes. I'll go get notes, but on the left there's going to be create note. Yep. So I'm going to copy this. Just to go quickly, we can duplicate this. Whoops. Boom. Whoops, this is probably not the right one. This doesn't look like what I want. No. Calendar should not be in there. It seems like we kind of made a mistake here. Okay, so I was just not in the good one. There's there's other notes. Then there's going to be create note here. Boom. So as we can see, we have a contact ID here we need to modify. We also have this location token we need to modify again. Like this. Then, okay, let's do contact ID first. We get the contact ID from the create a new contact because we want to associate the node. Whoops. We want to associate the node to this contact. Perfect. Then let's see. We need contact ID, we have authorization, we have body, we need user ID and a body. So it's going to look like this. Copy this. So user ID, we can come back here and copy this. Just to say the node comes from me. And the body here, if everything goes well, is the email thread. Create node with thread. Boom. That's it. Okay, so everything went well. If we go back into GHL right now, we go back into contact. We go in note, we're going to have this basically. There's only one message detected from who to who, the content, and everything is there. So, and the notes, you make sure you don't lose anything, okay? From this point, what we want to do is create an opportunity associated with this. So we're going to go into the API, opportunity, let's call it create opportunity, and we'll get this email right here. So I'm just going to duplicate this. It goes faster with the authorization and all. Boom. Then let's see, we need the version. The API version is the same one. As for the opportunity, okay. Here's the key thing with GHL. We need the pipeline IDs here, okay? Oh, did I forget to get everything? Yeah. Boom. Okay. I'm just going to modify this real quick, and then I'll show you we need to do another, like a small HTTP request under to get the pipeline's ID. Assign to, I'm just going to put this here. Then I don't need custom fields. Monetary value, we don't need this right now. Contact ID, we can modify it already because we have it here. Status open, yes. Name, we're going to call it, let's say, name dash deal. Location ID, we also have this, and get credential location ID. So we need pipeline ID and pipeline stage ID. Okay, let me show you how we get this. I'm gonna click save here. Okay, so first thing, let me remove this entire. Okay, I'm gonna do a full run after. Let me remove this because we're gonna rerun it. Okay, we need to get pipelines. Basically, there is an API call that's gonna get our pipelines for us, and that's a simple request. So when I need to do this, I'm gonna deactivate this. I'm gonna create here a new trigger. Where is it? Okay. Then I'm gonna create an API call. No, first I need to get the credential true. Let's not forget, this is important part. So this, perfect. Then I'm gonna call it get pipelines. This is gonna be a get request. Then here, pipeline opportunities, this is the call that we got here. Then to do this, we need to have location ID, the query parameters. Let's see. Okay. Let's copy it. Location ID. Boom. Location ID. Do we need to be sending others? Yes, this is the same one, and there's nobody. So we can remove this entire thing. Perfect. So we have, I'm going to put into interested stage, this is the ID. This is what I want. Let's go back into, this is not create node, this is create opportunity. And then I'm just going to modify this, hard code this for the time being. The pipeline ID is going to be right here below. So after this full thing, that's an array, pipeline ID. We need those two things here. Boom. Okay, so now I'm going to deactivate this one, reactivate this, and we're going to start all over again. So this should recruit the contact, recruit the node, and then this is going to create the opportunity unless we have a problem here, which apparently we do. Let's see. Oh, it's assigned to the comma here. We don't need this. Boom. Perfect. All right, let's go see inside GHL. And we should have the opportunity right here, plus the node is already in there. That's perfect. That's what we wanted. As we can see, everything here is good to go. The next thing that we're going to do with this is we're going to create a task associated with this because we want to also use the CRM GHL as kind of like we want to create ourselves reminders to do to reach out to those people essentially. Okay, we just receive an email, and just create a new lead. What we want is to outreach to this lead and not forget about it. Okay. So to do this, we will need another code function, and we're going to call this 24-hour delay. You can modify that, by the way. This is a code that's going to give, essentially that's going to create 24 hour of delay and put this into a variable, okay? So you can modify this. You can use AI to modify this if you want. This creates 24 hours. So we can see this outputs a date. And then we're going to go create a task. Create task. Perfect. Copy this. Maybe let's just duplicate this. Create task. Boom. Contact ID, we need to modify it. And we're going to find this one here. headers, we already have this body, we will need to modify this. Let's do this. And then let me get back the assigned to, because again, the assigned to is simply the user. So this is my user on GHL, which means I'm the one creating the task. Completed, I don't want the task to be completed, no. So I'm going to say false. Due date, this is where our variable gets in. First task, I'm going to say, let's call it reach out to, and then put the name. Body is description. This is a new lead. Please reach out ASAP. Okay, let's do this and let's test. So right now we're the 13th of May, about 4 p.m. So if we actually create a task with 24-hour delay, we're going to see it in task. Boom, reach out to Rene Lambert. This is a new lead. Please reach out ASAP. And this is exactly 24 later. Okay, so this whole process here, basically, we went from an email with some data in. Let me show if I can open the email real quick. Okay, so we have the data. This is the email we receive, basically. We went from this to a full lead inside GHL, a contact, an opportunity, a note with every details and a task, okay? So then after that, you can just go in task and fulfill everything, okay? We also created the contact, so it means every future conversation is gonna be right into here, okay? Let me show you an example. If I reply, this is perfect. Actually, this is a test CRM, so I don't know if the double sync is activated. It should be, but we'll see. Let's see here. Yes, it's activated. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna wait a couple seconds. What I'm gonna do then in the meantime is to show you, okay, but what if you don't have IDs? What if you have, and that's the last portion I'm showing, and we're gonna be using Smartlead for this as well, okay? Let's say you're doing cold email campaigns, or a service provider is doing cold email campaigns for you. What if they just give you like the email of the user, like you don't have any data, okay? There's many ways to enrich this data. What I'm gonna do, instead of using AI here to get all this data, is basically querying Smartlead based on the lead's email address and get the information from Smartlead, okay? Let's do this. So what I'm gonna do is gonna be different workflows. Copy paste here, and let me disable this, we don't need. Okay, let's say this is a message. We have from, okay. This is what I want. So let's say I don't need this. What I can have is information extractor, or just message a model. So what we want here, let me move my face, is from, okay. This is the user from, the email is from. If it was a forwarded email, you'd want to have an extract tool like this that was just looking after forwarded from to get the prospect email, okay? Here I'm going to say email. It should be pretty simple. There's only one email there. So this is the prospect email address. The message is from. I put required, I want this. Let's say, okay, boom, I got it, right here, okay. So I have this information here, we still use Nano. Obviously set field here, we don't have all this information. So here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna go into the Smartlead documentation. By the way, if you don't know Smartlead, we're a partner at Smartlead. It's a very nice cold email software that lets you automate this. So Here I want to probably fetch lead by email address. This is probably what I want to be doing. Yeah, this looks like what I want to be doing. So this is going to be a classic HTTP request. This is a get, and then let's see. We have API key and the query parameters, and we have email. Okay. So I'm gonna put query parameters, email, and then value here again. I didn't do it, but I suggest we do it to avoid problems. Is a set field. Sometimes you do get problems from the AI, so we want to just make sure this works. Set email, and it's formatted correctly. So now we get the email. Inside here, authentication, I do have this already. And this is going to be generic, and this is going to be query auth, because this is from query, and then I'm going to put my API key without you guys seeing it. And then boom, we have email. Okay, so this is going to query Smartlead database and search inside the email database, the leads database, sorry, about any information we have about this specific lead. So this is query Smartlead, then test out. Boom, from there we get first name, last name, email, created hat, phone number, company name, LinkedIn profile even, company URL. We have all of this good data, and then campaigns he's been on. Perfect, this is exactly what we wanted. So we're gonna go set field, let's see what we have right now. We don't have full name. Well, actually we do have full name. We're gonna keep this for sake of simplicity. You just put this, first name and last name. Email, let's see, phone, company name. We don't have any address, so I'm gonna delete this. And what's gonna happen is inside GHL, this is just gonna be empty, okay? Boom, then I need to get credential, obviously. What I'm gonna do here is go back into contacts and remove this, so that we're gonna create it again, and you can see it's gonna get created. By the way, we're almost done. Okay, this is remove. We have company name, right? We should have company name. Okay, yeah, there you go. So let's see what we have. We need to remove all of this, so I'm gonna say Smartlead source. Country we don't. Okay, so we go with the information we have. Gonna create this. Then we don't have any, well, we do have the email, but we don't really care about the email in this instance. So what I'm gonna do is remove this. And I can create a note here. This is gonna be cool. We have the LinkedIn, for example. So let's see, can we have the LinkedIn from here? Just need to move myself again. Query Smartlead, then that's fine. Okay, LinkedIn profile. I'm just doing this super quick. I would probably create a new field, new custom field inside GHL to put the LinkedIn in and not a note, but let's do this. Cool. Then we create the opportunity. Let's see, do we need to modify something? We don't. No, we don't. 24-hour delay. Then task. Oh, maybe this is gonna fail. Okay, no, I put the full name. Okay, let's go inside GHL. we have that deal again. We have that LinkedIn note. Let's click inside the contact. Let's go see. So we're gonna have the note with the LinkedIn. We're gonna have the task, and we have all the information. Okay. So this is another example of how you can go about. Maybe you just have the email that was forwarded to you. You do have access to the Smartlead data, then you can go and query it. If you don't have access to the Smartlead data, I'm not going to do a demo on this video because it's already been 40 minutes, but you could send this email inside Claytable, for example, and just request to do enrichment, waterfall enrichment, and get more data sent to you before you input your lead inside the CRM itself, okay? So this would be like the third route if you really have no information that you have. Using this information, you can really go about all your emails, all the different providers you have, or just a general email address that you have, that serves as a master inbox, and automate the CRM contact opportunities company creation process. Because in GHL here, the companies are automatically created normally, not in this test demo because it's a setting you need to activate, but if you just activate it into the settings, it's going to be automatically created for you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This system, this way of doing things, basically saves so many hours for our client. He went from having to manage 7 different places to just one inbox inside the conversations here inside GHL. This really allowed him to free up a lot of times and get more time on the jobs. Okay, if you have a similar issue, you don't want to install this for yourself. We're WinGrow. We do this for a lot of clients, so don't hesitate to reach out. If you like this video, find it very informative, please take a moment to do a thumbs up, leave some comments, feedback. It's always appreciated. On that note, have a good day, everyone.